Hmm. I do believe we are live here in the great state of Ohio. I will wait a little bit, see who shows up, and we'll see how it goes. Dang computer. Get them dang notifications all the time. It messes up my whole thing. Here I is. So we will see how it goes. Excuse me. Thank you. There we go. Gotta get this thing right. We are live. We are live. I hope I can be heard. So, got that going on. I've been having so much trouble with this thing. And we'll see how it goes. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Now, can anybody hear me? Yeah. I I'm in a tunnel. Let's see what's going on here. Okay. See how that goes. There. I'm a little delayed, and I got to figure out why this is not working. Let me see here. Let me get my. Stop camera. There we go. Let's see here. You guys will have to bear with me, like I said. Wait and see what goes on with Poppin' Fresh. I think. Ooh, I got people in here. Oops. You guys will have to bear. Oh, ouch. Ooh. Uh-oh. You guys will have to be very careful. Mrs. Country isn't here. Uh-oh. I'm in trouble. She has caught my ass again. There's Bill Douglas Jr. Well, Bill Douglas Jr. Now, I'm doing this tonight. I don't know why my regular headset's not working. So I am just a little, I'm a little confused. So there, let's see. Did you watch the video I posted on how we use now? Yeah, I got all the information on the Sydney shooting. I watched it, and I did my analyst on, or I analyzed it for what I could see. Um, And some don't like what I concluded, um, but it's only my opinion. It's only what I think because I know a couple officers that was involved there. Um, so uh, now this is a panel. We can discuss anything. Um, now I'm having trouble. And let me see what I can do here. Let me get my other headset. Here we go. There we go. I'm not being able to hear this thing, so you guys will have to bear with me. So anyway, how you doing downstairs, Mrs. Country? I know you're watching. So anyway, um, if you go in the basement, just show yourself, and I will bring you up. I'm just cautious that way. I've watched NC Tyrant Hunter. I watched there. I watched a lot of videos, and I am not going to get myself in a bind with YouTube. I try to do a decent videos and chats and talks and stuff, and so you guys just bear with me on this. I'm trying to get things figured out here, so uh, I don't have a lot of light, and I need my light. I've got to change my light in here in my studio where I can get the right light to get the right thing. Now, if I do that, and I can see that, see, you are blind, you. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Ooh, that's weird. Oh yeah. Oh, sorry. Um, on my other headset, I'm not getting my my what I'm supposed to be getting. My volume's not working, and I can't figure out why I'm not doing it. Settings, audio. Let's get that straightened out. Do 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 do. We'll put that phone over there. Y'all, like I said, y'all just bear with me. Now on that Sydney shooting, now I will tell you uh, what I think. Uh, I think the officers did the right thing. When you slow that down, he was definitely. Well, here comes rescue down the road. Uh, uh, I'm joining rescue squad here. So anyway, speaker. Uh, now, hang on a second. Now, let me see if I can get this done. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do do. I know my mic is good, and then I will get this right sooner or later. Let me see here. Where am I? Oh, here we go. Now, let me see if I get that right. Uh, that. Get that right. There, that should work. That should be it. There we go. There we go. We got it now. I'm back on my laptop. If anybody, if you go top of screen, want to join, this is a panel. This is on StreamYards. Please, please click on that. Come in. I'll have to watch for it. And so to see what Bill says about that. I believe it's just five for sure, but they have officers that are. Wait a minute. I hate that one out. I've got to get that stopped. That's aggravating. They have officers that are violating people right and left. Yes, they are. And I'm going back. If you go through my videos, Bill, that was my first audit, was the Sydney Police Department. And I went in, I filmed everything in the lobby, did not have any problems there whatsoever. And I hope I'm not echoing. But anyway, I got out on the sidewalk and on the Main Street part of it, on was it 47, and then walked around the corner, and one of them come up and tried to say I was loitering. They had some threats, but it doesn't make no difference. I was on the public sidewalk. I got a right to be there. You know, if you're loitering, you ain't got a purpose. I had a purpose. I was filming. And so I just, but I'm going back and no echo, thanks. I don't like that echo stuff. It's, you feel like you're in a barrel. But anyway, it just makes me so mad that they, see a camera and they go nuts. But well, I'm working on, some things to try to get some things changed. You know how that goes. Yes, I know. I know the officer. Uh, Matter of fact, I talked to him and a couple officers up in the court. After that, and they was sitting there, and I walked up and I said, "You remember me?" He says, "Yeah." And the officer, look, I'm not gonna make fun of his stuttering. He stutters some, but I looked at him. I said, "You got no business telling me what I can and can't do. I'm out in public. I'm doing nothing illegal. So you can't do nothing to me. You can't even ask me to leave. If I'm on a public sidewalk, I've got a purpose. I'm not just out there just standing. I'm not homeless. I've got a home. You can't tell me what to do. And that's the trouble with police today. You know, they think they can order you around. Now, in the military, the higher ups can order me around and I have to obey them. You don't do that out in public. I'm a private citizen. I got a purpose every time I go out somewhere. And you ain't gonna tell me what to do. Now, Elida, Ohio, Bill, I don't know if you know where that's at. It's up there by Lima. Um, they have a sign, and I took pictures of it. I'd have to go through all my pictures on my phone to find it. They had uh, a sign on their front door that said "No cameras." Right on the post office front door, no cameras. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I ain't gonna tolerate that. That is wrong, and I am going to address that if I have to go to jail. You can't post your 7 anywhere if the lobby is public. I can go anywhere I want to, as long as it's not a restricted area. It's a government building. My tax money pays for the post office, and I by God go in there videotape anytime I want to. So um, that's just the way I feel. Oh, shoot. Um, um, if you hadn't asked me his name, I would have told you. It's on the tip of my tongue, and he stutters. Um, and he's been there for quite a while. Dang, damn it! If I wish you hadn't asked me that, I could have told you. If you know the Sydney Police Department, go to my videos. Go to my very first one. It's in there. All right, there you go, Mrs. Country. Bless your heart, she married Jennings, Officer Jennings. There you go, Bill. Mrs. Country, you gonna quit being a jerk. Quit making me look so bad. She's trying to make me look bad here on cameras. That's okay. That's okay. I can. Yeah, he's corrupt, and there's some more of them. Now, uh, I don't know if you agree with me, Bill, but I know the man. I know him personally. Matter of fact, he helped me propose to Mrs. Country when I got married. Sergeant Martin of the Sydney Police Department. I know him. He has put up with so much, and he has tried to stay out of that part of it. He has to put up with somewhat of it, but he tries to stay out of the corruption part of it. But Sergeant Martin, he helped me with. Matter of fact, in between me and what I had Sergeant Martin do in our home in Sydney, she was ready to kill me. I mean, I throw Little Country, I threw him completely under the bus and backed over him and pulled over him 100 times before I got done flattening him out. But it all worked out. It all worked out. And I laughed my ass off over that. And Mrs. Country still. And if you'll watch the proposal that I did, I think it's on my channel too. There at one point I asked what's wrong, and she looks at me with some of the most evil eyes in the world and said, "You tell me." And I mean, she said it real to you. You tell me. So You know, they look. I'm not. I don't hate cops. I support them if they support the Constitution of the United States. I don't support tyranny. I don't support corruption. And I'll tell you guys, I got something on my license plate uh, that supports. And Bill, you know that this Ohio State Highway Patrol, there's corruption there because of the body cam. They have car cams, but they don't have body cams, and I think they need body cams. Yes, they did. They lost a bunch. They lost a bunch. Now, like I said, this. Let me click on this. Copy. Copy. And we go down here. And we paste. There is, if you want to get on the panel, get on there and I'll watch the screen. Be patient with me and come on up. Bill, you don't have to show your face. Once you get up here, let's talk about Sydney. Since you know Sydney like I do, let's talk about it. And some of the other areas. And I'll bring up some cops and see if you know them and what you think of. That's what, this is my Saturday night talk. We need to discuss these things in our area, in everybody's area. Look, if you want to come up and join, please come up and join me. Because like I said, this is a good place to discuss. I may not always agree with you. You may not always agree with me. But this is one thing that we can agree on, and that's uh, we can disagree and we still respect each other. That's the thing. Let's respect each other. Um, but like I said, let me. I've got a virtual background. This is like my home, my piano right. Wait a minute, right there. Got a point right there. Piano. Uh, no, it's a virtual background. I can't. How did I do that? I don't remember. I can get it. Let's see. I see. Where? Oh, hang on a second. I see somebody sitting down. All right. Who we got here, Bill? All right. We'll add you two here. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir. How are you doing?
I'm I'm fine as frog hair on a bullfrog in the middle of July.
I understand that.
No, I look. There's a lot of corruption in Sydney, and there's a lot of corruption in the county too.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Um,
Sheriff Fry's a big part of that. Because back when he was police chief of Jackson Center, that place was nothing but corruption.
yeah. Hang on just one second.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm back. Um uh, Now, like I said, James, he told me that I was laudering in that video. I said, go watch it. Like I said, I've got a bunch of views.
I've got a couple videos of Jennings doing his drug dog search. And where
What
that
country?
dog makes false hits on vehicles. And I've noticed it always goes to the driver rear door
Yeah,
and makes says it's making a positive hit, but nothing's ever found.
exactly. Exactly. And you know what aggravates me more than anything is that there's good cops that lets it go on.
Yep.
And, but you got to understand this. They've got a family, like Sergeant Martin, he's got a family and stuff. He's trying to do an honorable job, but it's hard for them to do a good job. And I know he's called out some of them over time. And matter of fact, he got reprimanded back a few years ago because he called out two of them, and which they don't work there. One got fired, one got suspended, and never was brought back. So he has done a little to try to help, but it goes deeper
They
than
just had
what you
Sergeant
think.
Cunningham. Sergeant Cunningham just retired, and he was trying to do his best to straighten
Yeah,
it up too and do community policing like it
yeah,
should have been done, instead of all the cops sitting on the west end of town trying to generate income for the city by pulling people over for petty little traffic stops. You know,
exactly.
they should be down here. The area I live in is considered high crime rate for Sydney. It's a high drug area. I'm off of Main Street, Miami, Jefferson, Washington, Shelby Street,
Yeah,
Broadway. And this
yeah,
is considered a high drug crime rate. But you don't see a cop in the neighborhood unless they're looking for somebody. Other than that,
exactly.
they don't even do routine cruises through here. They
Yeah,
haven't
and
done it since I've been here in 10 years.
yeah, down towards Washington Street, North Miami Street.
Yep.
There's so many drugs down through there
Oh, I
that
know it.
it's pathetic, and they
And they
let
let
it
it
go
go on.
on.
And they let it
And
go on.
you know, and I'll be honest with you, I carry a gun with me all the time anymore. I carry a Smith and Wesson M&P shield, and
Well,
I
I'm a
carry it
convicted
everywhere I go.
felon, so I can't carry one.
Well, look,
So, but you know what? And that's all
well,
fine and dandy. I've
well,
made my
the,
mistakes in life, but I still get my 20 years ago brung up in my face, and my kids have to live with it now.
well,
You know, my,
Bill,
my
you,
kids has been pulled over because at one time I sold marijuana. I got caught for it 20 years ago, over 20 years ago. Okay.
you can get your rights back. You can
Oh,
get your
I've got
gun.
them back. I vote and everything.
You got your gun rights back.
No, I can't get them back because I'm a convicted felon and I had
No,
weapons.
no. Oh, you was convicted with a weapon charge.
Yeah, but it got thrown out, but it's still on my thing, so they can't
Well, if
expunge
it
my file.
no, you don't have to have things expunged. You're under the false information that a lot of prosecutors and stuff try to give you.
No, I had a lawyer try to get my stuff taken care of to where I could re-access my rights to a gun, and because of my charges, I was unable to, according to the state of Ohio.
Okay, was it a local lawyer?
No, it was out of Dayton.
Okay,
It
now,
cost me like 20 grand for him.
well, I had a felony, and I got out of Austin, Texas. Uh, the group down there. And lawyers up here that I was checking into was telling me, no, you can't. Is that this, that, and the other? And you got this, you got that. And I said, yes, I can. I've read the law. I know the law. And so I got this group out of Austin, Texas, and it cost me about 8 grand. And Judge Stevenson, he granted to me. The prosecutor, assistant prosecutor up here in Sydney. Oh, he had a fit. He was trying to badmouth me and this and that and the other. And Judge Stevens looked at him and finally said, you know, I'm tired of hearing you gripe. Mr. Eaton has proven his case. He lives a good life. He's trustworthy. He's got a job he's had for a long time. He's good in the community. And he said there's no reason why he shouldn't have his gun rights. And, you know, he tried to bring up something back from 30 years ago, or was it? Yeah, 30, 40 years ago. And he said, I ain't listening to you. That's history. And so Judge Stevenson, you know, it took, he said he's going to take all the information. He said, I will issue my order in about a week. And I got, which I looked on the court records several times, you know, each day to see when, if he made a judgment. He made the judgment and it was in my favor.
Right.
And so, you know, gun rights, I tell you what, is it's a rough business when you get in trouble. But, you know, I'm proud of the accomplishments that I've done. And, you know, I want to help others.
And that's understandable. I mean, I'd like to be able to help people too, you know, but for me, it's kind of hard. I'm disabled. My wife's disabled.
Yeah.
And we have a hard time doing things.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Oh,
But,
by the way, we got Becky O in here too again. I love it. She comes in all my live streams. She's a sweetheart. I love it when she comes in there.
we see, I've been watching a lot of the what they call auditor videos here lately, you know, and then I've just been watching videos where people's been getting pulled over and their rights violated.
Okay. Hey, since you do that, let me bring up NC Tire Hunter. Okay. He's out of North Carolina. He's been to my
I watch
home. Oh, he was just up here this last fall
Was he?
at my house,
I
and
wish I'd have met him then.
he's gonna be coming back. Be watching my channel and his channel because, yeah, he's just nothing but a big old teddy bear is what he is. And I tell you what, some people want to criticize him.
You know what? I don't have nothing bad to say about NC Tyrant Hunter for the simple fact he is not disrespectful until he is disrespected.
Well,
Other than that, he is the politest man on that camera that you've seen until he's disrespected, and he'll show you the disrespect back. And it's deserved.
Let me tell you something about him, Mo. Here at my house, there at his home, or we was out, he is the same person. He's the same man. He doesn't put on camera or off of camera. He is the same person. Period. Yeah, I've got OCD. If my camera ain't centered, then I have a fit. I'm sorry, but he's the same no matter where he's at. And I've watched him from day one. That's what made me start my channel.
The one that started me out was San Joaquin Valley Transparency.
Yeah.
And then News Now Omaha, NC Tyrant Hunter, and then there's another one that I watch a lot. And there's also Delete Laws.
Yeah.
And there's another one that's real good that I like to watch. I like watching the ones that's not going up being confrontational to ag it on. I like watching the ones that's just doing their thing.
Yeah.
Doing it the legal way, quietly, just photograph, video.
I had a little time. Becky O said I had an echo. Have I got that taken care of? Is that good now?
I haven't heard an echo since you've been on.
Well, I haven't neither, but she said there was an echo. So Becky O,
could be just the acoustics of the room.
Well, no, I had my other headset turned up, so I turned it down, and so hopefully that took care of it. Did that take care of it, Becky O? Please? Okay, she said there's an echo. Well, well, answer me back. Becky O, 1, if there's an echo. 2, if there's no. Yes, there is an echo. Where is there an echo?
I'm not hearing it on this end.
Well, have you got more than one device going?
No, I don't. I'm out away from everybody.
Okay, or you must be on your phone.
Yeah, I am.
Okay. Well, you can't have one, and I've got my monitor. It's turned off. Yeah, let me make sure. Yeah, it's turned off. It's on mute. And then this, my other one. Well, my phone ain't even on, so it can't be coming from it neither. So, oh, she said I'm good now. So that's about time you worried me a little bit. I just damn it. But she said I'm fine. Yeah, my wife says I'm fine as wine. No, oh Lord. But uh, what do you think about this Ohio State Highway Patrol?
I think they're about as crooked as they get too.
All of them?
No, not all of them. I've actually ran into a couple decent ones.
Well, I
Because I
know.
had one that could have had me towed and thrown in jail, and he actually let me go. It was on Mother's Day, and me and my family was coming back from visiting my father in Georgia,
Yeah,
and my daughter had to be to work at like 7 a.m. And it was like 5:30 when I come through Troy at like 95 miles an hour.
yeah,
And he said he could have me have my vehicle towed and have me thrown in jail for that. But since I was honest with him about what was going on, he dropped it down to where I just had a speeding ticket, paid it, and let me go on my way.
yeah.
And he
I
appreciated that.
well,
And
I've
I told
got
him, I said, because he told me, he goes, when I first seen you, when I was coming off the on ramp there, he goes, you was at 95 miles an hour. He goes, you made all the regular traffic look like they was in reverse. Like I
yeah,
wasn't paying attention. I apologize.
yeah.
You know,
Well, I tell you what, I've got a 2014 Dodge Charger. I've got it's a police car, and it's got the full Hellcat package on it. It's fully chipped, and I'm telling you what, it's yeah, it's a bad little car, and
yeah.
so
Well, at that time, I was driving a '98 Dodge Ram. I blowed the motor up at 100,000 miles. It blowed a head gasket. So I put a 360 horse, 360 crate engine,
yeah.
and that's what I was driving.
We've got Becky Owen here now.
Hi.
How are you doing, Becky? Oh,
Me up here. Thank you.
we got
Hi,
Bill. We got Bill. Oh, right over,
Bill.
right here.
Hello, how you doing?
Good.
Yeah, that's
I'm
Becky
the
O.
I'm the official Becky O. Everybody knows who I am.
Oh,
Almost
yes,
everybody.
yes. Everybody knows. My hey, my buddy, from Chicago. You know who I'm talking about, don't you, Becky?
Yes. Hmm.
Who is he?
Joe Cool?
Yes, Joe Cool. He was here last time,
Was
and
he? I was
yes,
sleeping when you did your live stream. Did you do a live stream last night?
no, not last night. Was it a couple weeks ago? I done a live show, and
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, he was on it the same day I was on it.
yeah, yeah,
And then
yeah.
my phone just went completely frozen and haywire. This phone is garbage.
Well, it drive you to drinking, won't it? Well,
I can
Bill.
hear my voice in the background.
Well, I've got
I hear
everything. I hear something too.
it's not me because I only got one device.
You could probably hear my TV or something in the background because my grandkids are watching movies.
Mm. No, it's not conversation.
Mm.
I can hear the feedback. But anyways, let me put my phone over here. Let me rest it right here, just so I can smoke my cigarette in peace. Okay, so I was trying to do a live stream last night, and I contacted CFW first to ask her to help me do StreamYards because I have a really hard time with the StreamYard situation. But this is going back to our conversation that we had on your channel about the Tyree Nichols case, and you asked me about it, and I was not able to. I was like, I didn't know you're talking about, blah blah. So after your live stream, I went and researched Tyree Nichols, And that's how I was able to educate myself about the situation. And
Yeah.
I wrote down a whole bunch of stuff. Like, it's crazy. You know what I mean? And I took and I had the liberty to actually view like about 4 to 6 videos on
Yeah.
different angles, and from 4 different stations. One was an hour, like 40 something minutes long, 55 minutes long. Other was 26 minutes long. I was like researching and just like trying to like educate myself about the situation. And you had asked me about that, and because I couldn't honestly answer any of those questions because I didn't have no knowledge of it at the time,
Yeah.
now I can. I couldn't do a live stream on my channel because I didn't get any help. I mean, Rice Crispy hit me up last night, but by that time he hit me up, I was already sleeping because I get up
Yeah.
at 3 o'clock in the morning every day. And last night it was like at the verge where I had like an hour or 2 hour allowance time for me to like
Yeah.
stay awake because
Yeah.
I get up really early. You know what I mean? So I wanted to do a live stream last night and talk and discuss this. I wanted to do an open panel with all like auditors, anyone that wanted to, render their thoughts and opinions about the situation. And it was just crazy. We lost Bill. Did he just leave because I'm
Yeah.
talking?
I hope not. No, I think he would. He said he was out somewhere, so he may have to leave to go uh, do something. So
Oh, I'm
uh,
sorry, Bill. I think I was a buzzkill.
no, 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 not him. He's um, there he is. Here, we'll bring him back. There he is.
Yeah, I lost the connection.
Yeah, I thought you
I
did. You
just
just
watched
went.
with my hair.
You just went poof the magic dragon. So uh, we was talking about because he is from here and he knows our city police department, Sydney, Ohio, which I don't live in Sydney now. Uh, I live in Fort Laramie. If you don't know what Fort Laramie is the country concert capital of the world. We have once a year, we have
One of the
country.
biggest shindigs in the country.
Yeah, and we can sometimes hear them when they're here, we can hear them playing that far away from our house.
We can hear them here in town with the echo on a good night with a good breeze.
Yeah, but y- a lot of people criticize police departments all the time. Sydney is not Chicago or New
Oh no.
York or California. Fort Laramie isn't, you know, and I'll be honest, Fort Laramie's got a corrupt police department.
Oh yeah.
Just like a lot of small towns, they've got their own things and stuff. And
Fort Laramie, Anna, Botkins, Jackson Center,
oh, do you?
Port Jefferson, with their little police department they got now, they're just as corrupt as the rest of them.
Well, now I don't know if it's as bad now in Jackson Center, but it was bad at one point. I knew Austin that worked there. He don't work there anymore. He works, I forget what police department, but he thinks his shit don't stink.
Was it Rod Austin?
No,
Okay, because he's with the sheriff's department. He left the Sydney Police Department when Balling became chief because he didn't want to be a part of it.
exactly. Yeah, I knew he had left, went over there. Becky, oh, you live in
Rhode Island.
Rhode Island.
I
Okay.
left Florida in 2020. I'm in Rhode Island with Gotti.
Yeah, okay. I knew you left one place and went to another, but up there in the eastern part up there, I lived in Massachusetts, and I'm telling you what, they got all them up there in New England has, except New Hampshire ain't as bad as Massachusetts and Rhode Island and Connecticut and some places like that.
Can we, can we talk about New Hampshire really quick?
Yeah,
I was just watching a video of an interview with 3 police chiefs from New Hampshire. And the channel is WMRL maybe a station or a news station, WMUR TV.
Yeah.
It was broadcasted here on YouTube.
Yeah.
I just watched probably like about maybe 50% of the video, and I have I don't even know how, because she said the name so fast, but I wrote it how I heard her pronounce, like say it. I'm writing fast because they talk fast, and
Yeah.
they were basically saying that in New Hampshire they don't have crimes, they offer in their police departments spiritual wellness, and they have to see like a psychologist or like a therapist or something. um like it's like a routine thing for them. And they say that the crime rate is really low and things like that don't happen, shootings and stuff like that in New Hampshire. And I don't even know the name of this woman that actually interviewed these people, these guys,
Yeah.
in the blue suit.
Yeah.
But I went immediately to do research, like right away, to find out as has there been any shootings to citizens or whatever. And they were talking about mental health. How she asked questions. How do you deal with people with autistic, with mental illnesses and stuff like that? And they went and
Looks like she may have lost some signal as well.
I think she did. I hope I didn't cause that. Messing with my phone.
It sounded like she just started
Yeah.
to buffer, and that was it.
Yeah. Um, she'll be back. I mean, it's funny how. Uh,
There she is. She's back there.
ah,
oh shit! Can you see me?
I can
Yeah, we
see
can see
you.
and hear you.
Oh, okay. Okay.
What did you say, honey? Oh.
All right.
Lord.
So I jumped off, right? And I started to research New Hampshire Police Department, right?
Yeah.
And there's a case, January 9th, 2023, where New Hampshire police shot us and killed a 17-year-old autistic kid.
Yeah. I got a little thing on my Fox News thing about that.
They didn't mention that in the interview, though.
Yeah, but I got an alert on it. But the funny thing is, I can't get no information on it, and I can usually get information on stuff like that. I couldn't get that. Now I've got the information and stuff on where those kids was beating them other kids, and they've been showing it on like Fox News, and I don't know about some of the other. And y'all know how corrupt our media is now. They don't be honest about nothing. But two of the kids has been arrested and charged, and one of the parents has been arrested and charged because they backed up what their kid was beating on them others. And it's ridiculous. I think it needs to start at home, but I also think that our public schools need to go back to what they how they used to treat.
Country boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I understand what you're saying, and that's very true. I think that education, teaching our kids, like San Joaquin says it all the time, like we have to teach them from home. Don't let your kids go to the ballpark, to basketball, to roller skating rinks, anywhere, without educating your kids first about the law, about your rights, your amendment rights and stuff like that, just so that they know, and to always record the police, period.
Yeah.
But this interview was scheduled. It was 22 hours ago, and it was the basis and the baseline of this interview was because of Tyree Nichols.
Tyree Nichols, that's it.
That's the reason why these cops, because she was asking them questions on what like where things are wrong, like how would they change this, how would they blah blah blah. It was based on that was the baseline of the interview was Tyree Nichols. And the thing is like these cops fail to mention. They said that things like that don't happen. There's like, like if you watch the interview, it's like, it's like, um, you're going to New Hampshire and it's just like you're just in a rose garden.
Yeah.
It's like peaches and cream. And that's a fucking lie because she mentioned mental health. She mentioned autistic. She mentioned all that stuff. But they failed to mention, oh, by the way, I want transparency and I want everyone to understand that things like this do happen. Because on January 9th of 2023, we shot and killed an autistic child.
Yeah.
He was a child. He was not an adult. But they didn't mention that.
Yeah.
It's
That's
all
right.
peaches and cream throughout the whole entire conversation over because they want to paint a whole different light that they're not shooters, they're not gangsters, they're not blue line thugs, they're not blue line gangs or whatever you want to call them. Because after they want to paint themselves in a pretty picture because another state had killed Tyree Nichols. You know what I'm saying? This is the whole thing. It's like you're a cop, they're cops. All you guys are at the end of the day. If you guys were called in like an emergency situation, all of you blue line, all you guys are gonna throw on your blue suits and handle the situation, whether it was unlawful or whatever. Doesn't make a difference.
Yep.
They all excuse me. Shit.
You okay?
Yeah, my house is I got a dust. I have ashes everywhere here. Well, they're not everywhere, but I was smoking and there's ashes on top of my thing, so I don't know. It could be the pollen or something. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. Bird shit. I don't know. I got the window open right here, so. No, yeah. So, I really wanted to do a live stream on my channel, and I'm really kind of depressed. I was like a little upset and depressed about it because CFW did not get back to me last night. I'm gonna text her and find out, like, just ask her, like, why didn't you support me? I always supported you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's over and done with. I don't cry over spilled milk. But like I did do my research on Tyree. I found out a lot of stuff about him, about the officers, who got arrested, who didn't, and whatever. So,
yeah. It's
all the officers' names. Yeah, I did. So I did my own research because I really wanted to talk about it, and I really wanted to have an open panel because I think 1A auditors would have a lot to say about that because they have like all these interviews with all these other people on the regular live streams in their own channels, but our own people have not. I have not seen a discussion about Tyree Nichols in our community. It should have happened.
Yeah.
It should have happened.
Yeah, it should.
You brought it up. You did. You're the only person out of probably over 1,000 auditors we have right now in the community. I'm subscribed to like so many. I can't even count them.
Well,
but
I tried.
You were the first person.
I try to bring up what is important. Okay. I look. I'm not nobody. All right. But
yes, you are. You are somebody. Don't say you.
I do what I feel. I do what I feel. What I feel right here in my heart. And so, thank you. I appreciate that because, like I said, I'm starting to get back into this, and I'm getting into it where I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. You know. Yeah, it's good to get clicks and views and this, that, and other. But my main goal is to do the things that's going to help in the long run. NC Tire Hunter, he came up here. We done an audit together and stuff and some things together. And he's helped me get about 50 new subscribers to my channel. I'm 700 and whatever now. And thanks to him, NC Tire Hunter, I'd love to get him on my panel sometime for me and him to talk about some of these things and you and different ones bring up these issues that we can get out broadcasted, across the country. And that's the only way things can get done. That's the only way things can get where we can get change. What do you think, Bill?
Most definitely.
You know,
Most definitely.
if we don't do our job, then the community, the communities across this country, our local communities, across our county, across our state, and across our United States, they never know. If we don't broadcast these things, we can't depend on this liberal, like NBC, CNN, all these peoples to bring the truth of all of these things. And I believe in bringing truth. I'm, like I said, I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. I've made mistakes in the past, but I'm making a difference now. You know, I've got a good family. That 11-year-old will be 12 this year in June, and he mocks everything I do. So me as a parent, I have to watch my step, everything I do. Now, I want you guys to do one thing for me. You and Bill take care of this discussion for a little bit. I'm going downstairs, get me something to drink, and you guys take care of it. Let me run there and get something because, like I said, all this talking stuff.
What you doing? Crown Apple?
Yeah, duh.
Salute.
Crown and
I got
Coke.
mine in the Birkin cup because I was, because you know, I walk around walking
I'm
I
sorry,
made
but
me
that's
drink while I was walking Gotti outside real quick.
hey, that's me and Mrs. Country. That's our thing. And we've got a terrific bartender, but I don't know what happened to him. So, you know, anyway, I'm gonna run down real quick, and get me some drink because like I said, I'm getting thirsty. Matter of fact, it's cold out here in Ohio.
I'm gonna pee real quick. So I'm gonna put my I'm not gonna take it to the bathroom, but I'm gonna put my phone down. I'll be back.
Oh Lord. Well, I'll just wait till she comes back. Here, let me show you something.
No,
Bill.
go ahead, make your drink. I'll be back. It takes me 2 seconds. I gotta pee. Go ahead.
Here, let me show you something, Bill. Let me show you what this thing is right here.
A feline.
Look here. See how big he is?
Yep.
Look how big he is.
I had
You
a
know-
buddy of mine that had a cat here about 15 years ago, weighed about 55 pounds.
You know where I found him at? He's a little over a year old. You know, I drive a truck for a big mega farm out in New Bremen. Matter of fact, you can probably see it on my shirt.
Yep, sure can. I know the company.
Okay.
It's a big mega farm, and they're great people. I took a load a little over a year and a half, or about a year and a half or so ago, about 38, 40 miles north of here. He was in the back of the control box back there, in the control box. And he was only 3 weeks, 4 weeks old. He was just a little bitty. And so I had Mrs.
Your dog?
I had my cat. You didn't see him?
Oh.
Hang on.
No. Oh,
Here we go. See him?
how cute! It looks like a tiger.
Now, like I said,
It's
he rode
strawberry.
about 38, 40 miles in the back of that belt trailer, about 3 weeks, 4 weeks old. He was just, he had his eyes open, and I had Mrs. Country meet me up at our big chicken barns, our big commercial barns up in Spencerville. She brought him home, and she nursed this little guy to health, and now he's just a big old teddy bear.
That's what I did with Gotti too. Same thing. When I inherited Gotti, I fed him. I went to the PetSmart and got me some replacement milk because Gotti was only 4 weeks old, and I bottle fed Gotti till he was 4 months old.
Yeah.
And I fed him like little kibbles and stuff like that, and then I started feeding him like human food.
Well, I planned on, you know, us getting him big enough to fend for himself, and I was going to take him out to the farm and let him loose with other cats. Well, we had him here about 2 or 3 days, and Mrs. Country informed me real politely that we was keeping him. And so he's been with us, and he's a good cat. He sometimes we get a little pissed at him because we'll be asleep. Our, Sassy, my little dog, you've seen her. He's way bigger than her, but they get to playing with each other, and he'll run across my head and my Mrs. Country's head and wake us up in a dead sleep. Lord, get the hell out of here, you dumb cat. and, and so and sometimes I'll have my arm laying out over the edge of the bed, just hanging, and he'll bite the thing, and he'll bite Mrs. Country's toes if she sticks her feet out because they got hot. He'll bite her toes, and it was like World War III in the middle of the night. She wakes me up like, would y'all two behave yourselves? But anyway,
Yeah,
so,
they want attention or they want something. That's why they
yeah,
do that. Because I raised my daughter's cat when she was studying at Brown University, because Brown University threatened to withdraw her from school, from the university, if she did not get rid of her cat. She had it in a dorm with her. So
yeah,
she went to her father. Her father said no. I'm gonna bring. He doesn't like animals. He doesn't like people. He's just an asshole, So she ended up saying no. I need help. So she came to me because I didn't have Gotti. I got Gotti in 2016. He was a street rescue in 2016. This was like in the earlier years, when I was in Rhode Island, and I took care of her baby for her. I brought her to
yeah,
Florida with me. Yep. And then I brought her back to Rhode Island when she got her own apartment.
yeah.
But the cat, my daughter's kitty, she's 14 years old now because
Uh,
my daughter graduated from Brown in 2012 or 11,
Look,
something like that.
Mrs. Becky O, I'm going. You and
So
Bill talk about
her
this.
cat, her kitty is, I call it kitty, 'cause she's a mom. Her baby, her cat had babies, but her ex-boyfriend kept three.
She's going nuts again. Hey, I'll be
I'm
right back, guys.
frozen.
No, you're not. You're not now. You and Bill,
Am I frozen?
y'all can talk about these police departments and stuff. I'll be right back. Y'all behave yourselves too.
I think I'm frozen because I can't. I see my bedroom lights. Hi, Bill. Are you still there?
Hello. Yeah, I'm still here.
Hello.
Hello.
I don't even think I'm even on. This always happens to me. I fucking hate this phone. Oh, you're there. No, my phone is frozen. It does it all the time. That's another reason why I can't even live stream. I have the
It
worst
may be
problems
frozen
with
on your
every
end, but
phone that
it's
I
working on this
fucking
end.
get. Like, it's working. Like, what do you? Can you see me? Like right now?
I can
Like,
see and hear you.
can you see
Yes.
me?
Yep.
Oh, but I can't see. No, everything's frozen on my phone. Everything. This sucks. I'm just tapping my cigarettes because I just rolled them, and I always tap the tobacco to the bottom. I always pack them. You know what I mean?
It's the best way to do it. Keeps from
I
losing it
roll my
all
own
when you
cigarettes.
flip
I've been
the
doing this for
ash.
like over 10 years. Since 2000 and something, because it's so much cheaper. Yeah. So, do you know about the Tyree Nichols case,
What's that?
Bill?
The Tyree Nichols case? Yeah, I've been keeping up on it.
Hello?
I'm here.
Hello.
You can't
I
hear
might
me?
have to jump back on. I don't even know. I think my shit is.
The fuck? Can you hear me, Becky O?
Yeah, okay.
We lost Becky. She froze. Becky froze.
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
We got some trolls in here. I couldn't wait. I love it. These trolls.
But yeah, as far as going back to the Sydney Police Department, I can't give you names, but I can definitely give you badge numbers of some of the bad ones.
Yeah.
177, 176, 209, 210, 211, 212, and 216 as of now.
216. I know that. I know that badge number. I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, it's one of the new ones. Most of them's the new ones, except for 76 and 77. And 76 is Jennings.
Yeah. If you look at the comments and stuff on here, we got a couple trolls in here. You know, they don't bother me none.
I don't have a YouTube hookup.
Yeah. Well, I don't. This Jolly Roger, he's a fucking idiot. I just love these dumbasses.
Yeah, I've seen him on a couple others where he's been trolling them. He was
doing they
San Joaquin Valley Transparency. He also did Carolina Fort Worth. There's a couple others he's been trolling as well.
Well, you know what I do? You know, I don't. They can do whatever they want to. You know, I don't have time for them. I've been deleting them and blocking them and stuff. You know, I understand free speech and I enjoy it.
Yeah, some people take it to the extreme.
Yeah, and that's what they've been doing to me. You know, I talk about running for president stuff, and they just made a big thing out of it. So I really don't care if that's.
Yeah, I know one of them they got on the sheriff's department that I know is big time corrupt. He used to drive the Deere Mustang around, the blonde boy.
Yeah. We got Charlie Dog 84 in here too. I don't know him. He's talking to MO whatever. What's up? OMTS. I have to look at that and see. So I don't know. Well, the one it won't. It's you know, the thing that gets me is you know, you got trolls everywhere, and I just laugh at them anymore. We got Jennifer. Go pass around. You're the okay. I'll welcome anybody here. Matter of fact, if and you know, Bill, I this is a conversation thing. If you want to be respectful, you want to, you know, I just don't get these people to do, and I go to their channel and they have no videos.
They
They
go to
have
my channel, they'll see me trying to fly a drone.
yeah, but you
Funny.
know they have no subscribers, they have no videos, and they just started the channel, so they keep on creating and forming channels
Yeah, they do it like
to get back.
robots do on the
Yeah,
phone.
and that's fine. You know, I can just blurt them out and be done with it. You know, Dog 84 is in here. And Dog 84, he says he's a bad man. Well, okay, if you say so. I don't argue with stuff. Uh, I'm just little old me, and you know, I'm 61 years old. I've been doing this for a long time.
We not far off then on age, about 9
Yeah,
years.
yeah. So you know, like I said, I just get rid of them. Um,
So you say you from Texas, correct?
no, I'm Tennessee originally.
Oh well, you're from my home state. What part?
Just outside of Nashville.
Okay, I got a cousin that's living over there. I'm from Jellicoe area, La Follette area,
Yeah,
right there at Williamsburg, Kentucky, Jellicoe, Tennessee area.
yeah,
That's where my
yeah,
family's from.
yeah. That's yes, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, my dad, he lives down in Georgia now, up on Lookout Mountain, just outside of Chattanooga and Trenton.
Yeah,
I got a cousin down there. He's on the Georgia Highway Patrol. He's just as corrupt as most of them down there.
I don't know who this Stevie Johnson is. You know, Stevie Johnson, you're a fucking idiot. You know, if that's the best you got, why don't you go jump off in a lake or something? You know, I just love these people. They tickle me to death. And I made up my mind. They can say what they want to. I don't care anymore. You know, they don't know me. You know, and they don't have a life. So, you know, that's how it is to see. Here's the Italian stallion. He says, I'm in Dallas, which I've been to Dallas. I've been to where where they made the show Dallas. I've been to that ranch before, which, you know, now they've got a big thing that they do concerts in. They have a lot of conventions and stuff there. So, you know, it's
The only place I've been to Texas is where they filmed the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
yeah.
I've been there, and I stayed in San Antonio back in the 80s for a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. Staying. Yeah, he's I'll just I'll just start blocking them. You know, like I said, I'm I'm easy to get along with, but you know, I don't have time for, you know, these are idiots. So uh he Charlie Dog 84, he says I am 40. I am in Dallas. Yeah. I don't think you know DeSoto. He's saying in DeSoto, Texas now. I think he's talking to Becky. So I don't know what that's all about. Yeah.
yeah. If you ever drive around Sydney Country Boy News, you'll notice where most of your police department sets at.
Oh
On the
yeah,
west end, out there by the Love's truck stop, out
yeah,
there by
yeah.
Walmart, Kroger's, just
Hmm.
trying to generate revenue, And then they put up that tag reader out there along the interstate there in front of Perkins,
Yeah,
and they try to use that to find stolen cars, and I love listening to the scanner because
yeah,
they do not know their butts from the hole in the ground. Because we got a partial read on a stolen off the reader out there. Do we have any officers close? You've got 6 cars sitting out there, but nobody's close enough to get tagged. I mean,
yeah.
come on, you know. Everybody's always said if you want to do something in front of the police and get away with it, do it right under their nose.
Yeah.
If you try to
I'm
hide it, they'll catch you. If you don't try to hide it, they'll leave you alone.
well, yeah. If you do it right in front of them, yeah. It's funny how that goes on, but anyway,
Heck, I've caught the code enforcement guy for Sydney coming around and him taking bribes from people for them to let their vehicle sit on their property where it's not supposed to be for a year at a time, and then if something happens in the neighborhood to where he gets in trouble for not doing his job, then he's over there bitching at them, excuse my language, to move their stuff after he's already taken $100 from them to let them sit.
Yeah, this one, let me put him up there. Where is it? There we go. Put that. He says, if my car is stolen, I want them to find it. Good luck with that. That may never happen.
Find it in Sydney.
No, it'll be down in Dayton, being chopped in a chop thing within an hour.
I tell you what, my truck got stolen from behind my house over on Ohio Street, and I had my people out looking for it, and my people found it before the police department did. And the police department was like, well, how'd you find it? I said, I put the word out with my friends and they know my truck. So guess what? Go get my damn truck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hijackers and carjackings is going like crazy. I hope they never try to hijack me or my car or my semi or something like that. They'll have a rude awakening if they do. I don't like thieves. And so, y'all excuse me, I'm trying to rearrange something here where I can do something a little bit better. But here we go.
Just listening to the scanner in the last week, there's been 5 DOAs, at least three of them overdoses. And they still haven't figured out a problem to that here in this town yet.
Yeah. Well, they're not trying to take care of the problem. They're not going after the ones that's selling that crap.
Oh, I know it. And where I live at, I've had 2 houses from me. I've had one live right next door in the duplex to me doing cocaine, and they won't do nothing about it.
Yeah.
I get medical marijuana because I am not on the pharmaceuticals. Okay. So I get medical marijuana for my pains. I have back pain. I got a bad back. So I smoke medical marijuana.
Yeah.
And because I wouldn't give that person my weed, she went and called the police department, told them I was dealing dope.
Yeah.
Can you get that? That shit's funny. To me, I think it was funny.
Yeah, it is.
The detective come up to me 3 months later. He goes, well, your neighbor over here turned you in for trafficking, but the only person that had traffic at their house was them.
Yeah. Becky O says, stolen cars go to chop shops. Yeah. Around here, they go to Dayton.
Yep. They go to Dayton or they go up to Lima.
Yeah. And here lately, the last 3 weeks or so, or a month or so, it's been really bad. And it's the Hyundais and the Hondas. Kias. That's it. That's being stolen. And so.
Because some kid put up a YouTube thing to show them how to do it with a USB cord.
Yeah.
and now they're the most stolen vehicle in America. Back when in the 70s and 80s, the General Motors C10 pickup and the Ford Mustang was the most stolen vehicle.
Yeah. The Dodge Chargers were there for a little bit, but they're, and, mine's got my 2014. I still have the original show yourself there, Charlie. If Charlie Dog 84, show yourself. Oh, you're dark. Okay. All I ask you to do is respect everybody up here, buddy. I'll put you up there. I don't know you, but I'll give you a chance.
What's going on, man? I heard a lot about you.
You did?
Carolina talked about you.
Who did?
Carolina, Fort Worth.
Carolina, Fort Worth. I like her.
Yeah.
She is all right. She tickles me to death.
Yeah, man. I seen you do a lot of videos with her. She she calls you out.
Well, no, her and I've never done any videos. She's done videos with. I think she's done a lot with NC Tire Hunter. But she's done none with me. I've never got to do no videos with her.
I think she shouted you out.
Yeah.
I believe she shouted you out. I believe that.
Yeah, I've been, when she
like, that's why it's up to you.
She's I like watching her. I like watching her videos.
Yeah, man, I got an okay YouTube channel. I run around scaring.
You're breaking up, bud.
Yeah, real bad.
Yeah, it's real bad.
I'm sorry. Hold on. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good. We can hear you better now.
All right. Yeah, so I live here in DeSoto, Texas, and I had a dog stepping out on me for buying, my bike and stopped.
Hey, partner,
200 people
you're cutting out again.
From protesting Black Lives Matter protests. Is anyone there?
JRS, yeah, we're here. JRS, he said he's headed to bed, so you have a good night, buddy. Enjoy you on your flip side. JRS, ribs and catering. Oh boy, I own some ribs. I love that stuff. I think we lost him. He was having, I think, some internet issues. Yeah. I mean, I've got the best internet. The most of all that, whatever it is. For us here at the house, and we have a good NC Telco is a good cable company up here. I will never go to Time Warner or what's it called now?
Spectrum.
Spectrum. I hate them with a loving passion. NK Telco.
Telco, yeah. They've been open here in Sydney for a couple years now, but they just literally got their lines run down in my neighborhood last year.
If you got to get something, I would get them. The Western Missouri is in the house. So I'm getting some names in here that I hadn't, but I tell you what, the aggravating thing that gets me is that some of these that you gave badge numbers, they think they're indispensable, and one day it's going to hit them in the face. It's going to come back and bite some of these officers in the ass around here, and that as well as I do. It eventually will. What goes around comes around is what they say.
Well, it's like when Officer now give me a second, Kennedy got shot.
Yeah.
by
Yeah.
that suspect they was going to arrest.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's because of the bad cops that the good cop got shot.
Yeah. And and they're like in Memphis, Tennessee. That I don't, I have never been. I don't like this racism bullshit.
I've never liked it.
And I don't like it. That black boy down in Memphis did not deserve
Yeah, Tyree
what he
Nichols,
got.
no, he didn't
Yes,
deserve what he got. And the
that
bad thing about it was his own race that beat him because they wore a
yes,
badge.
yes,
And that makes it even worse
and they
when you're
tried
turning against your own people because you wear a badge.
and they tried to make it a race issue.
Yep.
How can you make it a race issue?
It can't be a race issue. I mean, it's a matter of the badge, the uniform, the person that they're hiring to do their jobs are not the people that they need doing them jobs. They are people that need to be out of that uniform and never put in that situation because they don't deserve that job.
Now, this is the kind of trolls that I have right here. Okay, I put it up on the screen. Let me tell you something. I did that for a reason. Because they're, when you say you're going to do something political, you have people like this that says shit like this. That's why I said what I said, because they made an issue out of it. I can do anything I want to. I can run for president. I'm going to run for some kind of political stuff in this whole area. I'm just not, I did that as a stunt to bring out trolls that doesn't like auditors and stuff here on YouTube. And I brought out a ton of them. And they have showed their ass on this channel. And I don't care. I'll pound them out. I'll do whatever I have to.
Hey, country boy, I got a question for you real
Yes,
quick for our local area.
Okay.
Now that Balling's out of office, what do you think about this new chief that they brought in?
Honestly,
Donahue or something like that?
Look, I have heard a lot of good about him, but I have heard some bad about him. I've not researched him in depth enough.
I put in a call to get an interview with him, and I want to try to live stream it on YouTube, but I still haven't got a call back to confirm it yet.
Yeah, I would like to get an interview with him. Now, here in Fort Laramie, I'm going to get an interview, which he's done said he's agreed for an interview for our superintendent because of the woke shit that's going on in our schools. Now, you know as well as I do, Sydney schools, they're questionable. Fort Laramie schools, New Bremen schools, all these schools in my little area over here have got, and they're not letting that crap come in. I'll be honest with you. They're nipping it. So
yeah, I've already caused a principal and a officer of the high school to lose their jobs because of their ignorance to the laws and their rules.
Yeah. And these guys keep on making new channels and coming back.
They're stock accounts.
Yeah. And
the high school out here in Sydney. The high school out here in Sydney, they had a principal. He was an ex-Marine, and when it comes to searching your children with the resource officer, they have rules and policies that they must follow. And in order to strip search a child, they must first call the parent to get consent and let the parent be present. My son got strip searched over a cigarette vape without my consent or my knowledge of it till after the fact.
Here's my bad dog right here.
That is so pretty.
Her name is Sassy. That's Sassy. She's a girl.
And so I called the school and I talked to this principal, and he said, well, I'll do it again if I have to. I said, no, you got rules and policies you need to follow before you do stuff like that. He goes, well, in circumstances like this, it was necessary. I said, for a cigarette vape? I said, is that so harmful that you got to strip search a child without his parents' consent?
Yeah.
I said, this is getting to be ridiculous. You're treating him like a hardened criminal. I said, the other 3 children that was in there, all they had to do was lift up a shirt, twirl, and walk out. My son got strip searched. Why? And that was because the resource officer took him and told him to the exact, well, I know who your father is. You're probably just like him. Yeah. And then we was having some troubles with some neighbors down here. And I had an officer come up and tell me that the former chief, Balling, told them if they helped us, that they would lose their job because my family wasn't worth helping.
Yeah, that it shouldn't be that way. You know, I just get so sick and tired of people saying, well, we can't help you, or we can't do this, or we can't do that for you. You know,
I had a woman literally try to break in my house, try to kick in my door and harm my grandchild in front of the door that I'm trying to get her away from. And they wouldn't do a damn thing. I had it on camera. Well, that's hearsay.
Yeah.
You know, and you had it videotaped and they still wouldn't do nothing. And the cop come back later on and says, well, I was told if I helped you that I'd lose my job because the chief don't like you. It don't matter what the chief likes. You do your damn job. That's what you're hired to do.
Yeah. Becky O's got an admirer, I think, in here.
Huh? No, I'm listening.
There you go. There you go. Dog 84. This is what he says. Becky O, I think I love you. Yes, I do. Don't laugh at me.
I love you too, Charlie Dog. Like I know him for a long time. Like he's been in the community for a few years, a couple of years already. You know, so I'm already familiar with him. I've been on his live streams or his videos and stuff like that. So
well, Country Boy and Becky O, I got to take off. I've got to go pick my son up from work. So I will talk at y'all later. If you're still on, I'll probably join you when I get back.
Well, be safe out there and always record because you know cameras don't lie, and the tyranny is getting worse and worse each day. It doesn't matter the catastrophe.
The only thing about the camera with me is the camera gets my lead foot in trouble.
Yeah.
So, all right, Country Boy, I appreciate you having me on your program and talking tonight. And
yes, sir.
Nice meeting you, Becky O.
Likewise.
And we get a chance, I'd like to get together and maybe have some coffee with you or something.
Yeah, I'd be glad to. There's places we can go down to Bob Evans somewhere and get some coffee or whatever, some breakfast, lunch, or something. Be glad to.
Sounds like a plan. I get a chance, I'll drop you my email and you can send me a number and I can send you my number.
Okay. All right. Let me put my, can you do emails?
Did you guys just meet for the first time on the stream, or you guys know each other already?
Well,
no, I met him on News Now Ohio stream when he was streaming from the police department, from the officers that beat that lady up at the McDonald's down there in the Dayton area.
Okay. Oh, she's got a lawsuit going like that.
Yep, she sure does, and she deserves it.
Yeah,
them cops don't need to have a job.
Over French fries. That's the one over French fries.
Over some cheese on a cheeseburger.
Hey.
Yeah, that's right. It was a it was I don't even know the sandwiches there.
Big Mac.
Big Mac. There you go. I don't eat fast food, but I know it was it was a hamburger. It was over cheese or something like that. They made it wrong. She went back to complain about it. But you know something, on some real shit, like my kids say that I'm really crazy because if you're gonna pay money to pay for a meal, it should be done the way you ask for it to be done. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
People make
but
mistakes.
The thing is, as far as him just being an officer, he was totally out of line by the way he grabbed her, and then just by being a human man, the indecency that he did by just hitting a woman. You don't do that. I don't care who you are.
She didn't go in there like, crazy.
She was actually leaving when they pulled up, And then
She
he
was
wanted to charge her with trespassing after she said, "You don't need my ID, I'm leaving." And then he wanted to make a big deal out of that, and that's what got her arrested because he
because
wanted
she
her
was black.
ID.
Because she was black. I mean, let's face it. They don't want to. They want to throw. They say, "Oh, it's not about black. It's not about racism." It is. There's
Becky
a
O, the
lot of
thing about
racism in
around
time.
here, the thing about the Ohio area, Dayton, Piqua, Sidney, Lima, Wapak, it's not about race. They just don't care about your rights.
That the thing is, listen. At the end of the day, I used to date cops back in the day, and I had a best friend that was a cop. And they told me when they're training, they treat everyone as a suspect. Just like I went to school and I went to school for nursing, but my mother had a heart attack. I had to withdraw from school, and then I end up going back to school, but I end up graduating as a medical assistant. When you're in that field, in the healthcare field, you have to treat everyone like they have a disease. You have to be very cautious. Use precautionary measures at all times, at all costs. So the cops have this on a flip side, basically the same training. Like whenever they see citizens,
Yeah,
civilians,
instead of
what
you
they
being
call them,
innocent until
you have to
proven
treat them
guilty, you're
all as
automatically guilty.
suspects. Exactly. So it's a really crazy situation, and um I mentally and in my heart, my heart is in this community 100%. The arrest that I had in 2019 that I posted, and San Joaquin shared it several times. No, he did like updates and shit like that. Auditing America and like two other channels shared my video. The thing is, what people fail to understand, that my situation with the police didn't start there. That was not my first arrest.
You
I
know,
have
you know what would stop a lot of this race business? And I'm being, I watch news. I watch all the reports. I study it. I watch government. I know government like the back of my hand.
nothing is gonna stop.
Yes, this will stop it. Okay, because it is a billion with a billion dollar business. If government and the liberal media, the left wing media, would quit running and starting this race business, we would not have as much go on as what it is, because that is a billion a year, billions of dollars. That
Country boy. The thing is, and no
All
one
right, I
wants
got to go,
to.
country boy. I'll talk to y'all later.
all
All
right,
right, God
all right,
bless.
Yep.
Be safe,
Later.
all right. Later. Thank you.
country boy.
Yeah.
It's factual that blacks are, and when it comes to police involvements in shootings or altercations, or just to be around a police officer,
Yeah.
they are
This. Hang on.
2.8 times higher of getting killed and shot and killed and arrested, shot and killed or just arrested, more than whites.
Yeah. Now look.
It's statistics, it's facts, it's proven.
Okay.
In Florida, I did research in Florida. 83% of traffic violations are all blacks.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to play that race here.
No. I'm
Yeah.
not saying that. I'm not saying
Well,
that. But at the end of the day,
I'm
it's
having.
very relevant. It's very relevant. It's very relevant.
Let me say this. All right. Bill Love being pegged all day. I put him time out for 5 minutes because he is trying to charge you or charge you up on this business. I don't agree with some of what you're saying, Becky O, but I respect you. We can disagree, and I'll let you, say it. But I'm telling everybody now on this.
Country boy, what do you disagree with me on? Let's talk. You speak very highly of where you come from.
Yes.
That's fine. But the thing is, I'm a woman that let me tell you something. I've been all over the place. I've been in many states. I've been in many cities, and I see how, and I've been arrested
Okay.
more times, more than your hands and your feet together. Okay.
Yeah. Now,
So,
are you
so
talking about big cities? Or are you talking about smaller
you,
communities?
where have you traveled to in your life, and you spent enough time there to know about how the police interact with civilians?
I've lived outside of Boston. I've been in New York City a lot. I have been in
So, have
Chicago a
you lived
lot.
in New York City?
I know people that live there, and yes, there is a race problem in a lot of these cities like New York. There is. I agree with you. There is. And but I won't tell everybody that's in the chat where they're chatting and stuff. Look, quit accusing Becky of being a racist. I'm not going to put up with that. I
I'm
don't.
not a
Yeah.
racist. Listen.
Listen.
Listen. Hold on. How
No,
am I
no, no,
racist?
no, no. Listen, hold on, Becky. I'm trying to take up for you. I don't want them uh, commenting that you are racist and stuff. You got your
Wait,
feelings.
hold on. Well, you have to ask them, who am I being racist towards, and how am I racist? I'm
Yeah.
Italian, and I'm Spaniard and
Well,
Dominican.
he
How
said
am I racist?
he said you couldn't keep a job and this and that and where you work now. You know, he
I
was saying
couldn't keep a
some.
job. What job is he talking about?
Look, I don't know, but I'm not going to tolerate that. You know,
Listen, they
uh,
don't even know me from a hole in the wall. They don't know me from a can of paint. They don't know me from Adam. They don't know
I
me from
know
Mars
it.
and Venus. They don't know me from the twat to the next dick. They can suck mine. I don't care. Trolls always do shit like this because they're
Yes,
trying to just bring nothing but negativity into our conversation. We're having a conversation about the
yes,
police and how they interact with people, and I have my own personal experience. They
yes,
and many of these people have not. You have
and
not gone through what I've gone through.
no.
Um, you know, and I
And you not going through what I've gone through. So
well, I don't
that's
know what you've gone through.
yeah.
And
So
I don't know what you've gone through, and you don't know entirely what I've gone through.
no, I
But I
don't.
guarantee you. Let me tell you something, country boy. I would guarantee you, you can line up a majority. I would say probably, and I don't know, but from the auditing community, whatever how things are going right now, maybe in their past life they've gone through bad things, and that's why they became auditors. But I
Okay,
want someone in this community to line up with what
this
I've gone through with the police in my
look,
time in my day. And
look.
we'll see if anybody compares, because this
Okay,
is why I'm in
let
this community for that reason.
let me put this comment up, and I'm going to read it, and I agree with it wholly, 100%. Ask her all the killings in Chicago, black on black. Ask her, country boy, where is the outrage? And I agree, there is no outrage, and that's what makes me mad. You know
I'm not an
that
outrage. I'm just a passionate
no,
speaker.
they didn't say you was outraged. It's just saying there is no outrage in Chicago, New York, when you have these shootings, and they've showed video cameras showing these black on black shootings,
Yeah,
you
it's
know, and
disgusting. It's
that's not,
disgusting.
you know, and that is not a race thing. That is just a plain, I believe it's just, it goes back to, you know, a one parent raising a child. I believe that the family has been torn apart. Now it's one person raising one child. I don't care if they're the father or the mother raising that child. There's nothing anymore about morals, and that's the way I think. I think there's no morals in this world anymore. You know, they
People are becoming desensitized about the human life. Okay, because we have internet, there's a lot of things that are brainwashing people on a daily basis. Okay, when she talks about, is this a man or woman that made that asked that question?
Yeah, and I'm trying to read these comments and listen to you. And like I said, I understand that
Well, I didn't finish
there
my
is
point. Country boy, I didn't finish my point. The thing is, black on black crime didn't start now. It didn't start 10 years ago. It didn't start 30 years ago. It didn't start 40 years ago. The Moors used to enslave their own people. Okay, African. This is a historical situation. Okay, and the saddest part is the black people in the black community. They're only in my entire life. I'm Dominican. I'm Spaniard and Italian. And let me tell you something. There is not no other race that in my own head that I can pop up right now that goes against each other than black people. They are the only race that I know in my 52 years of this living on this planet and living in different states, different cities. I'm from New York City. I'm from the South Bronx.
Okay.
And I lived in Florida for a long time. I've been in all parts of Florida. I've been all parts of New York. I've been all parts of in New England. And black people, I have a lot of stories to tell about that shit, but I'm not gonna bring it up right now with black folks. But the thing is, they need to have a togetherness, a unity, a union with one another. They're the only race that fight and kill each other, mostly, like in the majority.
Okay,
the Asians don't do it. The Hispanic people I'm talking about the like predominantly, like it's just them on them. All black on black crime.
Okay,
that is factual.
Okay, let me read this, and I understand, and I've not heard a thing from either one of these two.
They need unity. They need to get together. They need therapy. They need to like bridge, and we're trying to bridge gaps between police and the citizens. They need to bridge the gap between their own people. How about that?
Look, settle down. Let me read this. And
I'm not mad. I'm just a passionate.
Okay, I know you're passionate about what you're saying. Let me read this and let me give my opinion on it, and keep it short. And I want you to give your opinion, but keep it short. Now, this is what Little Red Corvette says. It's Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson hasn't said one word about Chicago Post. That country boy, and read it. You know, he told me to read it for you, and that's what I did. Now, this is my opinion about this. Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson is two of the biggest racist people in this country. They keep more stuff stirred up because of things that they say. Now, it's the truth. I've watched them for years. I've watched political stuff for years, and you know, nobody is giving an outrage on black, you know, and I've got some good friends that is black people, and I love them to death. And I don't think, when I look at a black person, I don't see black. I see a person. I've always been that way. I don't like this race cut stuff that I hear all the time, and it makes me mad that every time something happens, like the shootings and stuff, and they killed that guy down in Memphis, Tennessee, it was black officers that killed that black boy which did not deserve to die, but they tried to bring the race card in. I get tired of hearing that, because you need to know the facts before you start making the assumption. That's my thought about Al Sharpton.
The reason why he died was there was a purpose and reason behind it. When you read these like true crime stories and everything, when there's a murder, when someone got stabbed like 70 times, that's overkill. That's excessive. What he suffered that night was an overkill. They beat the living shit out of him. They tased him first. He ran off because he was scared as hell. It was not even a legitimate stop. It was completely unlawful. They just tag teamed all the cops. That, you know what, all these officers that was involved in this situation with Tyree, okay, Officer Haley, Demetrius Haley, Desmond Mills Jr., okay, Emmett Martin, Justin Smith, and
Okay.
Teradius Bean, whatever his freaking name is.
Okay. Well,
These guys and the other 2 officers that got fired, and all of them got fired, but the other 2 are not facing any charges.
Okay.
They were fired, but all these guys right here, cowards.
All
How
right.
are you gonna be 5 black men? You know what? Do you know that that Tyree, he had Crohn's disease? He was 6'3", 140 pounds.
Look, I want you to answer my question. All right, because that's the
What
one
is
I
your
had.
question? Because this is really
Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson. What's your opinion of those two? And try to keep yours short, because we'll try to get some of the other stuff too. Because
Well, I mean, you said
Little Red Corvette asked me to ask you that question. What is your opinion about those two men right
Well,
now?
little red Corvette. I don't have a TV, and when it comes to Al Sharpton and when it comes to Jesse Jackson and everything like that, I don't watch media. I don't even vote. I voted twice in my entire I voted for Clinton and I voted for Obama twice. 3 times in 52 years I voted.
Okay,
I'm not into politics at all, and I don't listen to it because you know what? It's all corruption from the very beginning.
Now, Becky,
Very beginning, I don't even know much about them. All I know is that they're supposedly activists, and whatever. But I don't know anything. I don't know their history. I don't know their story.
See?
I don't know nothing about them or whatever the case may be.
Look, let me put a little history in this. Every time there's something bad, and Becky, you got to understand this. Every time there's something bad where it includes or it involves a white officer and a black suspect that they hurt or kill, they are outraged. They will get out and nail the coffin shut and hang people on the cross. But this down in Memphis, we've not heard a word from either one of them. And I look, I keep up with politics. I watch it. I study it. When I'm driving my semi and I'm working each day out at the farm and doing my thing in the truck, I've got the news on. I watch different stations to get the information. Okay.
Okay, so you're saying that Al Sharpton has not been relevant, has shown his face since Tyree situation? Is that what you're saying?
He's not. There's nothing been on the news where he's done interviews.
That's not true. He was at the funeral.
Yeah, but he's not doing a public outrage over that. Like they've done. Like they've done in the past.
You know why?
Because it doesn't stir up like it is, because it is black on black. I'm telling you.
I don't think that's why, because there is a lawsuit.
I know it's why. I know it's why, because I've watched this stuff. I study it. I'm in politics.
Maybe you're right. I don't know. All I know is that he did speak for his funeral. He was there. I watched the entire funeral. I had to go to work, and I got up at 4:00 in the morning, and I watched the video, and I was bawling. I was crying.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, my eyes are like, oh my God, I can't cry anymore. Like, this is crazy.
Let me put it down to another thing. With that in Memphis, there is no money in that. Yeah, they'll go and speak at the funeral, but they will not do the big outrageous things and get on and stomp their feet and shake their fists at people. And I've watched them for years, Becky.
Well, and That's years. Now things right now, everything is.
It's no different now. They're doing the same thing that they've always done throughout the years. That's what they've done, and they keep repeating themselves. And I'm trying. You say you don't keep up with politics. You don't keep up with this stuff.
I
do, and I'm trying to let you know how these two people have acted over the years. It's about money, and when there's something bad happens where it involves different race, they make a big stink about it, and they make money off it. Racism in the United States is one of the biggest money making gimmicks that shouldn't be in our country, but it is. Now I'm telling you what, I
There's
watched this
racism everywhere.
AOC,
Everywhere.
AOC and the squad up in Washington D.C. They voted the one off of her foreign affairs committee, and you got to watch the video when they're in the House of Representatives bitching and moaning and crying. I mean, they throw the big stink up there because it was a race thing. This race thing, if people would let it go and stuff, it would settle down. It did settle down for a while.
Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
When they stopped Demetrius, he was leaving a park. He was taking pictures of the sunset because that's what he loved to do. He did photography. He just left the park, heading back home. He was 100 yards from his house when he got stopped. He was at a light, right? So they all like ran up to his car and they was like, "Get out the car!" And they didn't even tell him why he was being stopped. They were not being cordial. It was an ambush that happened at that light, right? The first person and the only person that tased him first was that guy Hemphill, Preston Hemphill, right? Preston Hemphill, the other 5 officers was arrested and charged. Hemphill and another white unidentified officer, okay, was under investigation and they were sent home. They were sent on leave, paid leave, okay, during the investigation. But Hemphill was mentioned in the video of him tasing Tyree, right? In the first altercation, he denies he was there in the second half of the altercation during the beatdown. But why did the chief not charge him for that? In a lawful arrest, he was ambushed. He was tased unlawful, like he was just handcuffed and tased, and he ran with handcuffs, and they caught up to him and beat the living shit out of him. He sat there, and then Haley, Demetrius Haley, took a picture of him beat up and dying.
There's difference in between
dying and send it to somebody, allegedly his baby mama, okay, allegedly. So why didn't Preston and why didn't the other guy that was involved get charged?
Well, you got to understand, tasing somebody is trying to get somebody under control.
No, he tased him unlawfully. He had the only way a cop can tase a person is they're in imminent danger. If there's before shooting a person that's unarmed, you fucking tase their ass or use a beanbag to or whatever, just to stun them. But you don't just grab somebody out the car, handcuff them immediately, beat them, and tase them, and just like that.
His tase did not work because, you know, he did get away. I wished he had have gotten away.
He still deployed a taser to him, whether it affected him or not. You don't know that. We don't know that. And reports did not report that.
I've read the reports and I've watched the video. It did not affect him. But what affected him was the 5 that beat and killed him. That's the bottom line right there. If he had joined in with the beating and stuff, I guarantee you he would have been charged too.
Can I ask you a question? Have you ever been handcuffed and dragged or beat or smacked or hit in any way?
I've been tased once.
With handcuffs on?
No.
I'm talking about while you're in handcuffs. Have you ever been dragged, smacked, hit, or tased or punched or anything by a cop?
I have not. And,
I have.
Well,
I have. So this is why I'm very passionate about this situation because I didn't go through the extent that I could have, if the cops decided to shoot me in the back of my head at that particular time, they would have done it, and then there's nothing nobody could have done but be witnesses up to it.
You know,
Okay.
and part of the problem is, and I'll tell you, and you may not like this answer, but part of the problem is if you get into a situation with the cops in a lot of these areas, like Memphis is one of the most corrupt cities, and it's the murder capital of the world, almost, other than down in Louisiana, down in what's
That's unfair for you to say that because you don't know the
Yo,
situation that transpired.
I'm just telling you, you just comply with them. Just get out.
No. You see, the thing is, you don't know the story. That's why you
I
can't
do
say.
know this. I do know the story. If he
My
had,
story or what happened to me?
no, not you, but I'm
Okay.
talking about down in Memphis. I think if he hadn't have tried to fight him, I think
Bullshit. When they pulled him out that car, they would have killed him right there at that fucking
no,
spot.
that
Yes, they would have.
no,
Yes,
they
they would
wouldn't.
have.
No,
There
they
was a
wouldn't
reason
have back
behind
then.
that shit. There was a reason behind it. There's a
Those
purpose and a reason.
those 5 was part of a some kind of drug.
Scorpion unit.
Yeah, and I
You know
don't
what
think
Scorpion stands for?
I don't think they should have had that kind of squad out on the streets.
You know,
I
Scorpion. Do you know what? Who names a unit? Okay, that they in the police department named Scorpion. Who? Do you know what Scorpions do? Like, why would they name a Scorpion?
no.
Like, are you kidding me? If you look at astrology and you look at the little beast itself, the little tiny insect that thing with claw, that shit will sting you and kill you. Okay.
Well, look, that's all of
Do you
these.
know what Scorpion stands for?
What's it stand for?
It stands for Street Crimes Operation to Restore Peace in our neighborhood.
I
That's what it stands for.
Look, I heard
But
that.
yet they killed.
Look, I
this
heard.
guy.
Look, I heard that put out back when this first happened, and there's no connection to that. Now there's the unit the unit that I was with. One of them in the Army was the Scorpion Task Force unit. We went out to deploy things that happened, but I have never heard that put that away before.
That's in the military. The military is government, and that's all like that. You know what? I didn't even want my son to be go in the military. He's a Marine vet. He served 5 years. And he's in a prestigious law school right now, and I have that's my second child in the same school. My oldest graduated from Brown University. My kids are very educated, okay.
Well,
and the thing is like this is mortifying because my son is around the same age as him.
Yeah, well,
he's a year behind. He's 28 years old. And Tyree's 29. And the thing is, this could have been my son coming back home from the beach or coming back home from a park or coming back home from somewhere. It could have been my son.
Well,
and if that happened to my son, this is why this is country boy. The thing is, I don't know if you have a 29-year-old kid or 28-year-old kid, but I do. My oldest is 33.
My oldest is 34. Look,
there's no way in hell. This is really crazy.
If he had have complied and just put a reason.
Complied.
Yes, look.
They bum rushed him when he got to the stoplight. There's cameras showing that. I
watched the video.
6 videos.
When they started pulling him out of the car, he kept on asking,
he didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Yeah, but
they came at him aggressively. They didn't talk to him. They were not cordial to him. They didn't approach his car.
look,
Nothing like that.
wait,
Look at
I'm not. Look, I'm not going to argue with you about it. This is my opinion. I've heard your opinion, and
well,
I'm going to tell you mine now. Look, if he has just got out of the car, put his hands behind his back, I believe he would have been alive today.
no, he
Look,
wouldn't have.
he started fighting them because he didn't think he done anything wrong. Look, when they pull you
He
over,
didn't fight. He did not
yes,
fight,
he
country
did.
boy.
I watched
No, he didn't.
I
He
watched the
ran.
video.
He in handcuffs. He ran because
Yeah,
they were hitting him. They already brought him down and he was acting crazy. Okay,
look,
and
they
he
had.
took off. He was scared.
He
He
was
was
He
scared.
started to fight them when they started to pull him out of the car. He started fighting them. He
No,
should not have started fighting them when they.
no, he did not.
Yes, I watched it. I've
He was
got.
trying to find a way to get the fuck out and run home because he
You
was
can't
only
do
100
that.
yards. He was 100 yards from his house and he screamed his mother's name, not his mother's name. He said, "Mom!"
That's
He
after
screamed for his mom.
that's after he run off and they caught him the second time. If the first look, the first time that they got him stopped, they started to jerk him out of the car. He should have just complied right there and not argued with them. You know, you can fight them in court, but you cannot fight them on the street.
No, but listen,
Period.
how are you gonna say that when allegedly they was already okay? He got ambushed. How
He didn't get ambushed.
Listen how ironic this is. How ironic this is. There's allegedly he's having a relationship with Haley's ex baby mama, right? That's alleged.
Look,
You know that?
I've got all the video. I've
Okay.
watched it.
No.
I've watched it. I've
And
listened.
I did too, country. Listen.
Yeah, you're wrong. I have watched it all. I've got it downloaded. I've watched it.
I'm wrong. I'm so
Yes.
so
About what happened. He started to fight him soon as because he didn't think he done something wrong. Look, when I get pulled over, I don't think I've done anything wrong. But if they start to jerk me out of the car, I'm going to get out of the car and put my hands behind my back on top of the hood, whatever it is. I'm not going to fight them because you cannot fight.
Did that. They beat him. They were beating him and tasing him while he was out there. You said that he didn't get that tase. He did, but he's even, you know what? Let me tell you something. He is a fight or flight situation. And he chose to flee because he was scared.
He shouldn't have done that.
He had Superman powers, and I've seen people on video get tased by cops, and they just still like strong as hell. It don't defeat them. Not everybody takes tasers the same way. Every human body works differently. You need to understand that. That boy was tased. That young man was tased. He absolutely was. There's facts and proofs of that.
Look,
The
stop.
autopsy showed reports of him being tased.
Becky, stop. Look, I understand your passion. Look, I understand all of that. But I'm telling you, I've watched it. Look,
I did too.
You cannot fight police officers across this country.
He was throwing fists. He was fighting them, right? He was fighting
He
them.
was fighting them. Soon as he was not fighting them. He was. Watch the video.
I watched the video.
No, you didn't, because he was fighting them.
No, he was not.
Now the bottom line. Look, the bottom line was he did not deserve to die like that. I'm all for that. I don't believe and I'm 61 years old. I don't believe he should have died like that. Period. Nobody should die like that. And let me go on the other flip side. No fucking cop should ever treat a citizen like that. Period. If they had stopped him and done it respectful, I think it turned out a lot different. But I also think on the other flip side that if he hadn't have fallen and tried to get away and this, that, and other with that kind of mentality of some of these dumbass cops across our country, I agree with you. But I'm telling you, I've watched this stuff.
Tyree Nichols' fate was that day. It was
He,
that day.
yes, and
That day was planned.
he was part of the problem. You
No,
know,
I disagree.
you cannot fight that many cops on that kind of situation.
I disagree.
And I believe that he would still be alive today
Our
if
Constitution,
he had a if he,
our Constitution, we have rights.
yes, we
If
do.
a
You
cop,
cannot fight
listen,
them. You cannot fight them on a traffic stop. You cannot start
if
fighting the
a
cops.
cop, no, absolutely not, because you're already outnumbered. But he didn't fight nobody.
Yes, he did.
He was
He
pulled
started.
out the car. He was pulled and yanked out the car.
Yes, he was fighting them while they was trying to yank him out of the car. He started, as soon as they started trying to get him out of the car, he started fighting them. It's right there on the body cams. It's right there.
The whole thing go down.
I did too.
Go down. I watched it. I watched it several
You
times.
did not hear a thing that this gentleman said. And like I said, nobody should die like that. I'm with you 100%. But you cannot fight that many cops with their mentality, with their mind thought.
Listen, if Tyree fought those cops like you said he did, those 5 black cops would not have gotten fired.
He was kicking them. He was fighting at them. He was resisting them. Just get out of the car and do what you're told. Fight them in the court of law.
Did you see a video? I actually watched it today. I'm gonna send it to you. Of a white guy watching. He was not deer hunting, but he was watching.
I'm not talking about no other video.
Well,
I'm talking about.
I'm giving you a flip side to what you want to call fighting a cop. There was a white man, okay, with his wife and his little child in the back seat, in the back of the car. She was like maybe like 3 or 4 years old. Okay, they were deer watching. I have the video, and I'm gonna send it to you. This cop went in. The white people. Okay, he grabbed the husband's arm. His arm was bleeding. It was red and bruised and raw. And this guy was kicking the cop.
Look, I'm not getting. Look, stop, Becky O. Okay. I'm not going. Look, stop.
Hold on.
No. I'm done.
Nothing.
Look, I'm done trying to talk other things. I'm telling you what both sides are. Look, I've got my military. I've got my investigation experience. I've watched these things, and like I said, there was a problem on both sides of that. The man should not have. The man should have not died that day, but those cops shouldn't have done what they done.
Okay, so one of the question.
Those 5 are getting charged with second degree murder. They are done. They're dismantling that Scorpion, whatever it is that they had down there. Memphis is like down in Louisiana. It's ridiculous in some of these cities like Memphis. Memphis is a murder capital, one of the murder capitals of the world. And there is wrongdoing on both sides. And I'm telling you, I stand by this. Nobody should die like that. I don't care what color they are. I'm not even going to talk about color. Period. There's been white people, white guys that have got killed that way, and nothing is never said. I'm just laying it out like it is. Our police force on a lot of these bigger cities is out of control. And that's the bottom line. Now, Chicago is really bad, and it outrages me. I've got no power over Chicago or New York or Memphis or or St. Louis and all that. I got no power over it. But what I can say is, you know, some of these bigger police departments are out of control. They're trying to put all this stuff out there. They're, you know, police are not supposed to be. We have a constitution. I agree with you there. We do, and they take an oath to that constitution. But once they take that oath, they think, you know, they put a little tin badge on their chest, and they think they're they think their shit don't stink. I'll be honest with you. I don't like them. You know, I respect cops. I got nothing against cops. Good cops. What I got a problem with is bad cops like those in Memphis. It bothers me that young man died dinner that night. But it also bothers me that there is a disconnect between, you know, black, white, this, that, and other. I don't care what color you are. That, you know, don't try to fight them on the street, because they have militarized a lot of our police departments, and they think that they can go out and hurt anybody they want, and they shouldn't be able to be allowed to do that. You know, it used to be when I grew up, when I was a kid, you know, if you was a police officer, for the most part, you had respect for your community because you took an oath to the Constitution that everybody had their rights, the First Amendment, all the way through all the amendments. And it's sickening to know what is going on in our country today.
Let me ask you a question.
Black on black in Chicago is outrageous, and Al Sharpton and them dumbasses that's supposed to be standing up for civil rights is not saying a word about that. They pick and choose what they want to fight over.
So you're basically saying that once a person complies, a black person or a white person or any color person, anybody complies with the police, they won't die, right? They won't get shot, and they just it's fine.
For the most part, I don't think. For the most part, yes, I am sure about that.
Statistics don't show that. I'm gonna give you a prime example right now.
Give me a statistic, okay? I've got it right here. I've got it.
Listen for a second. Stefan Clark, 22 years old, from Sacramento, California, in 2018. Have you ever heard his name before? Stefan Clark?
Look, I'm not looking for a single thing. Give me statistics.
No.
Give me the statistics. You said you was gonna give me that.
Statistics.
Yes, I got to pull up right here.
1,100 people die annually from cops shooting them, civilians, citizens.
I've got it right here.
Over 1,200 people die yearly because of cops.
How many?
1,100 people, 1,100 to 1,200 people die yearly.
Okay, how many cops get killed each year? Now this is whole thing.
Nothing. Okay, wait. Hold on. Let me. Hold on, country. You said listen. You know. There's so.
No, I'm reading the statistics. They don't match up with what it is.
Well, let me tell you something. You said that if he had just listened and complied, he would have died anyways. I don't know what you say. Yes,
you don't know that. You don't know that. See, you're making a judgment without the fact.
It was already a blueprint in the blue line of gang night. Okay, so there's a case with Stefan Clark, or Stefan.
You're getting off on. I want to hear about statistics.
No, listen. I want you to listen.
Look, you're going to give me the statistics. Look, don't give me single things. You either give me the facts, because I've got them pulled up here.
I'm telling you.
No, you're not. Give me a number.
Listen, you said if somebody complied, country, that they would not have died. Listen to this. Stefan Clark was 22 years old.
See, no, you give me
in his backyard of his grandmother's house. Listen, the cops shot him 20 times.
Look, this is what I'm going to do.
They thought his cell phone was a gun, and they shot him.
Now look, I'm reading the statistics on these kind of outrageous things, and they don't match yours. You're giving me single individuals. Now, do you want to give me the things? I've got them right here, pull up on my iPad. You know, you're not taking control of my show. Now, I've got them pulled up.
I'm not trying to do that.
Give me a number. How many?
Why would you say I'm trying to take control of your show when you ask me for my opinion? I'm trying to give you a flip side and try to debunk what you said about complying.
You're not debunking. You're not giving me. You said you're going to give me statistics on how many people die each year from bad cops. 322. Okay.
The fatality rate for black people is 2.8 times higher than white people.
Really?
Exactly. And that is facts.
You need to research those things that happen.
52% of whites
disproportionately blacks. See, you're not reading the whole thing, because the fact is, most of it comes from fighting them back, shooting at them, running from them. No, it ain't. It's right here. I've got it right here.
I'm gonna do a live stream. This is now you encourage me to really put this out there, because I have been doing my own personal research on how many civilians get killed by police officers unarmed. So since you want to make this a situation, I'm going to prove you wrong, because you're absolutely wrong. I think you're so headstrong about your city and about where you live at, that how your cops conduct themselves, but you're stagnant. You're stuck where you are.
See, you're wrong there.
Nothing that's happening around the world. I've seen it. People's witnessed it. People's lived it, and it is what it is.
How can you
completely blindsided with your
no. Listen here, Vecchio. Listen here. You're the one that admitted that you don't keep up with the news. You don't keep up with none of this stuff.
I researched this through Google.
You're not Google. You know who runs Google? The left-wing media. They fire people like you up.
How do you find your information?
I find it from
Google, right?
I find it from reports that is actually fired, that's been filed for police departments. Okay.
Not from where? Because you live where you are. You're all the way in Iowa. So
see, you don't even know where I live. I don't know.
Not Iowa. Yeah, my bad. That's a whole
different state. I get that information.
You're a whole different state. You're a whole different state and you're a whole different city.
I
was on a live stream. My brain is like, I'm hyper. So, but
what you're going to do? Stop. I get my information from those cities: Chicago, New York, L.A. I get all of those reports and I look them up from those cities.
You look them up through Google.
No, I don't. I look them up through the court system. I look them up through the police department system. I don't look them from Google. Google will lie to me. I can Google something, it will tell me one thing, and I'll get it from a court or from a police department, a complete report of what things are. See, that's the trouble. People depend on Google, which is a left-wing racist part of our internet, and it fires people up. So you can Google all you want to, but until you go and research and get the facts from the courts, from the police departments, and from the investigation and all those things that actually happen, and they are the archives in Washington, D.C. They are the archives out in different places where you can research this stuff and get the bare facts, and they will not match what Google will tell you at times. I'll Google things just to prove a point, and it'll tell me one thing, but the facts will show me another thing. Start doing your research from the court systems.
So start looking. Hold on. Are you telling me that more cops get killed by civilians on an annual basis versus cops killing civilians? Is that what you're telling me?
No, I'm telling you that there is more cops killed versus cops killing civilians
I
because
just asked you that question.
because there's more black on black killings than ever before.
Okay, so you're telling me that more cops get killed by civilians versus black killing, cops killing blacks or just people, civilians in general. Is that what you're telling
Yes.
me?
Yes, it is. It's a fact.
Well, then how come those cases are not on the news networks then?
Because you got left wing media. You won't get facts from
So
CNN,
wouldn't they want
NBC,
wouldn't they want to
MS,
advertise that
DNC.
cops are being killed so there be other reforms? They're gonna create tougher, more like laws
See,
against
the
civilians.
trouble is with you
That's not
is,
true, and you know that's not true.
Becky O, you are a Democrat. I know I know the
I'm
fight.
not. I'm not nothing.
Yeah, you are because you
No,
voted.
I'm
You
not.
said you voted for Clinton. You voted for Obama. You
No, that
voted.
was back in the day.
That's
I
still
don't vote. That
you.
was back when Obama was Obama. I have not. I only voted
Obama's
for
a
the
Democrat.
president.
You know, and so like I said, I know where you're coming from. That's okay, but go do your research not on Google, but start doing FOIA requests on reports. Start getting your national reports uh, on these things, and the numbers will not match what you're saying.
So how come they don't? How come the news media doesn't report whenever the cops are being killed? Like the way you make it sound. Oh, a cop just was murdered. A cop was just murdered by a civil. A cop was just murdered. You don't hear that in the internet. You don't hear that in Google. You don't hear that. You don't see that in anything. People, there's so much tyranny. It's evident. You cannot put a blindfold to your eyes into this. You cannot.
Yes, they do report,
If you do
but
that, it's because you're just being naturally ignorant, country boy. The
hey,
thing
hey,
is,
hey, hey! Stop right there! Stop! Stop!
are
Stop, Becky O! I'm done. You called me really?
I
You're
said,
you're
don't be
done. You're
ignorant.
done. You called me ignorant. Bye. Now, look, I'm not gonna take this from nobody. I will talk with you about things, but I will not take being called ignorant because facts are facts. The bottom line, there is too much that goes on in our world today. Yes, I'm a Republican, but I'm also an American. I believe there's good in this world, and I also believe there's bad in this world. I believe there's good cops in this world. I believe there's bad cops in this world. You know, when people do not want to admit that in our society today, not as much in mine. She tried to say I'm taking from my community. Look, I live out rural area. We don't have as much crime as Chicago stuff, but you got to go to Chicago and get your reports. You got to go to New York to get your reports. You got to Washington. I'll be honest with you. There's a couple, you know, and let me give you the news stations that will give you better, truthful reports than other people. Is Newsmax TV, Fox News. They are pretty good. They're not as good as they used to be. But when you watch NBC, MSDNC, which is Democratic, that's these all these channels are these networks. They work against the American people. They want to give what the Democrats want to portray. Washington D.C. is a mess now. I wouldn't go up there and be in office for nothing right now because of the crap that goes on. I watch news. My wife says she couldn't watch the news that I watch. Okay. You know, You know, there's bad Republicans and there's bad Democrats. There has been a system in Washington, D.C. You've heard it called before. And they have made money off the American people. They have bought out, and the news networks, for the most part, like CNN, NBC, MSNBC, and a lot of these, they have sold out to where they're wanting a socialism. We are a free country. We deserve to be free. That's why we fought Britain, if you read your history. That's why we had our wars. Owning slaves back when they did, that was wrong. I just, slavery was wrong. Those people over in those other countries, their own color, their own people sold them out and sold them to bring over here. Is what broke slavery. I'm glad that ended. I'm so sick of hearing of racism in our country. I don't like it. Joe Biden is the most corrupt, the most damning person I've ever seen in this country as president of the United States. I don't have much, but I do have my self-respect. Becky O, I'm sorry. I had to stop it right there because you will not listen. I know you're passionate about what you're saying, but I hope you understand there is facts and there is true facts. And that's what it is. I like Becky O. She's always, I hope I didn't make her mad, but I had to stop it. If you watch, and I'm paying no attention to none of the comments right now. I'm trying to speak my mind. Joe Biden is old. He's frail. If you watch him walk, he walks like somebody that's actually in the nursing home. He can't hardly walk. No wonder he can't do one thing a day or one thing every week. I watch Fox News. I watch CNN. I watch a lot of them to see what they're doing. But Fox News and Newsmax TV, watch Newsmax TV. You'll get facts there. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not going to have anything about race, I don't think, on my channel no more. Because the more you throw that race card out there, the worse it gets. If people would let and quit talking about racism is racism, things would get better. America is supposed to be about prosperity and life, liberty. And that, if you watch Life, Liberty, and Levine on Fox News, that man I admire. Dan Bongino, Fox Nation, watch that channel. You can learn a lot about all that. Excuse me, my cat and dog is wrestling and playing, Lord have mercy. But, I'm telling you, Little Red Corvette, I appreciate you being here. I do. And now look at some of the stuff. Yeah, she was disrespecting me. And I like Becky O. I'm not going to say nothing bad about her. She is passionate of what she thinks. And I'm going to tell you, and I'll be honest with you, and it's bad on both sides. I don't think I don't think that guy should have died down in Memphis. I also think they shouldn't have had officers running the streets doing them kind of things. You can do a traffic stop. If the kid shouldn't, he should just complied. I think he would have still been alive today if he had just complied, got out of the car, and let them run their mouth and stuff. But once you start fighting them, he was kicking at them, pushing away them when he was trying to get out of the car, or they was trying to get him out of the car, and all these things. I just, in these big cities, the government with the departments, and the police department is a government agency. A lot of people don't understand that. Police departments is a freaking government entity. And I think the feds, I think the states, I think the counties and the cities have given the cops too much goddamn power. I think we need to take the power away from them and give the power to the people. And if you notice, when I stand here, when I stood up, I do have my firearm on me. I have not taken it off yet, and I'll show it to you. It's right there, right there. I carry it everywhere I go. Used to, a little over a year ago, we had to have a permit. We don't have to have a permit now to carry it concealed. We can carry it, and I carry it everywhere I go, Walmart, everywhere. And I've had people left and right tell me, says, I feel safer seeing you carry your firearm in Walmart and different places and different stores. And my mother-in-law, she says, I feel so much safer when you're with us when we're at Walmart, because we've had a couple incidents in Walmarts around here. Matter of fact, the Walmart that my mother-in-law goes to, they had an incident with a bad person with a gun. And I'll tell you, this gun ain't going to kill nobody. It's the person with the gun. I hope I never have to use it. I hope I never have to. But I will protect my family with everything I got. And I will protect my neighbors around me and people I don't know at Walmart, at the grocery store, other places, with everything I got if someone tries to harm them. And I'm telling you, race has got to be stopped. It's being played right now in our House of Representatives because of a stupid thing. Look, the Democrats did it to the Republicans, and now it came back and bit them in the ass. But I guarantee you will not hear one Democrat say that they did anything wrong. Semi-synthetic or whatever they call that the one said about the Jewish people. It's been played. I wish I could get my system fixed up here where I could pull these things up, and I'll get it there. I'll get it there eventually. I think in our community, if someone come into Walmart with a gun and started shooting, that whatever color it is, it doesn't make no difference. And I took them down, took them out, because you can call the cops. It takes them a little bit to get there, but if you're there, and that's one thing great about Ohio, it's constitutional carry. You can carry, but you do have a responsibility of knowing when to pull your weapon and when not, and that's the trouble with some of the people that carry, they don't know when to not and when to pull their weapon. I'm a veteran. I know when to pull. I know when to not. I hope to God I never have to. But you got to handle whatever you need to protect your community. It is us, the community, that should be taking care of each other. There is nowhere in the Constitution where it says that the cops is our protector. They're not our protector. We are our protector. The community is the protector. It's up to us in our community to protect ourselves. It ain't up to the cops. I don't know where that's got so blown out where, oh my God, we got to call the cops. Protect yourself. Be smart about it. And so I'm done with this race business. I am. I'm done with it. Because the more you talk about it, the more you stir up things. I love people. I don't care if you're from Japan or if you're from Jamaica, if you're from China and you're living in our country and you're living the American dream the way you're supposed to, great. I don't care who you are. I love you. I respect you. But respect what this country is founded on. It's not founded on racism. It's not founded on, you're better than me and stuff, because none of us is better than each other. We are all created equal. Equal. We are created equal. One is not better than the other. So, right now, there isn't but one in here, little red Corvette. I appreciate you. Don't know you. So, you've got to know where to go to get your facts. And that's the trouble across America. People, the average American people, are not getting the true facts because of the left-wing media. And they're working for the Democrats. And like I said, I've got Democrat friends, and they're sick of it. They're sick of all of the mess that's going on with what's going on in Washington, D.C. And we've got to get a hold of it. So anyway, yeah, I think I've got that report. And like I said, you can look at Chicago, you can look at New York. Chicago is always in news because of Lori Lightfoot. They're throwing the light on Chicago town because of her. I don't like her. She's an idiot. They need to kick her ass out, as far as I care. But we will get our country back. One way or the other, we'll get our country back. One way or another. And anyway, I appreciate everybody tonight. And so I'll probably put this video on the private side. But, that just shows you, sometimes you're not getting the whole complete information. And like I said, no one should die like the kid down in Memphis did. No one. But we don't need cops like that out there. They need to address the community as the community. If someone has got a gun, knife, or something that's trying to hurt them, I understand that. They need to defend themselves. Them people that's trying to pull guns on cops, pull knives on cops, is that try to stop them without killing them, but use that as the last option. Is deadly force. Is the way I say. You use deadly force only when it's only the last resort that you have to have. You know, I'm 5'11", right, almost 200 pounds. I pretty much can handle myself any situation. But you know, you got to be able to be. Yeah, you're right. The average cop don't have beanbags. They have tasers. Most of them carry tasers, which usually work pretty good. I've been tased before I could carry one. I had to be tased, and believe me, I do not want to do that again. That hurt. and you know, just like me, Little Red Corvette, or anybody in this community, we're all doing the same thing. I drive the truck for the big mega farm out there every day. I go to Michigan, I go to Indiana, I go all over different places and pick up product. And I carry my gun with me. I want to go home. I've got these last 2-3 years, especially the last 2 years. I want to go. I've got where I feel like I want to go home every day, just like the cops. They're trying to do their best. There's bad ones in everywhere, bad ones, and then there's good ones. And the good ones does not get the media attention. It's always the bad ones. That is a problem. That is a problem. Just like, you know, when cops do something wrong, there needs to be an outrage over it. But when somebody is trying to do something wrong towards them, that needs to be called out too, both ways. You know, comply with officers. You know, regardless if you think you're right, comply with. You fight them in court. You know, fight them in court. And that's what I think. You know, fight them in court. You cannot fight them on the streets. It never turns out good, and we've seen that time and time again. And there's been a lot of cops killed the last couple years, 3 years or so, than I've ever seen in my life. And it's because all the disconnect. It's because all the lies and all the media lies and all of our government out of Washington, D.C. lies. The Democrats on the far left have made nothing but a mockery of our democracy in Washington, D.C. And the American people should be outraged. We need to take the House of Representatives back. They work for, sorry about that. They work for us. Your governor, your police chief, they work for us. We don't work for them. We pay them with our tax money. We pay them some bitches up there in Washington, D.C. in the House of Representatives, in the Senate. We pay them with our tax money. They need to be freaking working for us, for our good. You know, and the cops need to be working for us. Keep crime down. When you get in a situation, try to take it down the best you can. And I'm getting tired. So anyway, I appreciate everybody that's been in here. And I agree with you right there. Biden needs to go. He has to go. He lets a freaking Chinese balloon for a week monitor us and collect information off of right in our airspace. And they finally shot it down today. So therefore, You know, he needs to go. He is so corrupt. It's pitiful. And like I said, I'm tired. I God bless you guys. I appreciate everybody coming in here today. Becky O, love you. I'm not trying to disrespect you, but you know, this is not an arguing channel. We need to talk about things just peacefully and stuff. You can give your opinion. I give my opinion. I don't agree with your opinion. You don't agree with mine. And that's how we do it. And I apologize for that. I had to stop it right there because it was getting too out of hand. And I apologize for that. But you know, I got to the point where I felt like you was totally disrespecting me and what we was trying to do. But that's okay. We'll do it again. And we love you. God bless. God bless USA. We need to remember our troops across the country and across the world. Little Red Corvette, appreciate you being here a lot. And I appreciate everybody else coming in. Love you guys. This is Country Boy News, CBN News and Report and commentator. We'll talk to you later.